Okay. Yeah, what is your question?
Mr. Bancano, it is a privilege of hosting you in Mexico. Your visit inspired us very much, especially at the environmental agenda. So I want to ask you what was your impression on the meeting that we had today?
I had a very good, useful exchange of views with two vice foreign ministers. And Mexico is a very important member state of the United Nations, as well as a leader country in Latin America. And as a member of the G20, Mexico can play a very important role at this time when, first of all, we have to urgently take action, and we have to raise the level of ambition, particularly at the political level and leaders level, to realize carbon neutrality by 2050. Mexico has been playing very important leadership role during the negotiation process, particularly 2010, the Cancun Agreement on climate, particularly on adaptation framework, is a milestone, and Cancun really rescued this crunching process of negotiation at that time. And then that was the beginning of some difficult yet but smooth negotiation process until Paris. Therefore, I am expecting much more needs to be done. We don't have any time to lose at this time. So climate change is approaching much faster than one may expect. Look at what is happening now. The July 2021 was the hottest month ever recorded in human history now. And the European countries, well-to-do European countries like Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, they were hit last year. I was told that the flood in Germany was the biggest one in 1,000 years. So then the coldest spot in the world is known to be Verkhoyansk in Russia. The average temperature in January of every year used to be minus 48 degrees. But July last year in Verkhoyansk, the temperature recorded plus 45 degrees. The absolute difference is almost 95 degrees. So it's almost a boiling point. So that much, this earth is now on fire.
Mr. Ban Ki-moon, we are experiencing indeed right now the climate change effect. So I would like to ask you if you think that programs or initiatives like Sembrando Vida here in Mexico are relevant for fighting against climate change and also for gaining resilience for the areas of the countries that have been maybe risks for impacts.
Sembrando Vida is a very excellent and practical ideas and plan. I hope the Mexican government and people will really devote their whole energy and support on this matter. And I have been traveling around the world, and I have been meeting the global leaders. It is very important that how much the political leaders are committed to this climate phenomena is. Look at the case of most recent IPCC report.
Yes, exactly.
IPCC report. Then we really don't have any time, and we have to make sure that by 2030 we should be able to cut the 45% of the greenhouse gas emissions, and thus then by 2050 whole world will be carbon neutral. For that, first of all, we have to mobilize necessary financial support to poor developing countries. And the science and technological support for those countries are essential, critically important. This is the one which everybody should get together. No country is immune from this climate phenomenon, and no country, however powerful, resourceful one may be, can do it alone. We have to put all our hands together on the deck. That global partnership, global solidarity will be the answer.
Mr. Kimon, the COP26 in Glasgow last year, we wouldn't been able for raising the $10 billion needed, not just for
100 billion.
100 billion. You're right. So, do you expect for the next conference in Egypt we can really have a different news?
There was a most heightened expectation on Glasgow COP26.
That's really
but
true,
unfortunately, there was some mixed assessment whether Glasgow was completely successful. The reason I have just two points. First of all, the target year by 2050, carbon neutrality, was a little bit toned down.
Exactly.
Not by 2050. It was agreed that by or around the middle of the century.
Yeah.
And another one was a carbon emission cutting, was that we really hope that they would have agreed to phase out. Instead of phase out, they agreed to phase down because of some different ideas from certain developing countries. But overall, I think Glasgow was a very important point where leaders have raised their political level. I hope that COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh will be able to, first of all, have a clear-cut roadmap how they will mobilize $100 billion and just to disperse all this money and science and technology to developing countries. Otherwise, we will have no hope. So let us work together.
Yes,
to make sure.
We are getting young people and women involved in the negotiations, and I hope to see you there in Egypt in November. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Okay.